year, including lock-in. They were 0-6, and then 3-10. Now 4-16. It's looking up, Jatt.
That is better.
They could win out the rest of the year.
That is better. 4-10 game score. The match score is what's most important, though. They have one match win. They need to have the second match win, and if they do it in a 2-0, they'll be in. If it's a 2-1, then it's up to Dignitas, which you don't want it to be up to Dignitas if you're DSG, or if you're Shopify. So it's really, really important that they 2-0 this. On the side of DSG, it's also important that they win the next 2 games because they can clinch their own playoffs with a series win.
Exactly, and they want to make sure that they can do just that. As we saw Srtty on your screen there a moment ago, he's had a great performance so far individually, especially in laning phase. A solo kill against Fudge, but they're opting for the Bard first pick here for Lyonz in the support position. Let's see what Shopify want to answer with.
Risky choice. Lyonz, Bard, he's had some bad Bard games, for sure. He does have a win on it so far in this split, and with Ashe, Seraphine already being gone, they feel like that's going to give them the most ability to play the map. But Bvoy, Ezreal, a classic, is locked in. Interestingly enough, 0-4 on Ezreal this split. So he feels like he's doing a lot of damage, but he's not getting the wins on Ezreal. That's
tough, especially considering it was one of his popular ones when we think of years past. Like that and Lucian that were up there in his most played. He had the Lucian game. Now let's see if the Ezreal game gets its first win of this split. It's paired with Seos's Neeko, so some kill threat if you find that nice tangle bar, but also you can get the Neeko out of the lane, and Ezreal's just fine. So maybe even setting up Contractz for more carry potential here as Caitlyn Pantheon locked in for DSG.
Yeah, I like that from a scaling perspective, just having the Caitlyn in your back pocket in case the game goes late and Sajed can win some late game team fights. Also feel like Pantheon can make a lot happen early. It's a little bit less homeless than the Vi was in the last draft, where I did feel like KryRa, once he was up against the Melio Olaf, he's not beating Olaf in the 1v1. He can't hard engage on people because the Melio is going to block it. So at least the Pantheon has some global pressure that will be able to kick in. But on the split side, Contractz with the Wukong is another pick where if he starts getting ahead, can really take over the game.
True, and Wukong can be primary engaged, can also be follow-up engaged. Neeko as well, like both of these two champions, really big AoE ultimates that can get fights started or follow up depending on if they want to put Fudge on even more tank engaged duty. We'll see what that game plan is, as currently it's focused on the mid lane with Talia taken away. But yeah, when I'm looking at DSG's side, I love the Caitlyn Bard combo on the bot lane because of how strong it is once you hit level 6 as well. Bard hits an ultimate, trap directly under it. That's pretty much a guaranteed kill. The problem is it's Ezreal who's got high mobility and Neeko who might not even be in the lane. So we'll see if they're actually able to pull that off. Maybe it's going to be on Lyonz to roam and answer Seos on the pathing as well, which we know Seos loves getting behind Contractz.
Yes, for sure, especially when Contractz is playing like he did in the Olaf game. But the thing we need to remember about game 1 as well is that Callme and Srtty were very far ahead in lane.
Yes.
So that's something that DSG is going to try and do. Again, you can see bot lanes are what's locked in along with jungle. So this next phase of draft is completely about trying to secure the best top lane match as possible. So DSG picked first pick, which means that Shopify is going to have the first pick after these bans here, and then DSG is going to have to blind to something.
Yes. Now, which one will Shopify give them? If I had to guess, I would say it's going to be Fudge on the blind pick here, but maybe it's a flex.
That's clever.
A flex pick. We've seen Anivia top, we've seen Anivia mid, so this does not give a lot of information to DSG.
Trying to think of the power picks. Rumble Cassante, already gone from last game. The Aurora York band, just picking TF and saying that they're going to be playing through sides. I've loved the TF, and they give Srtty his Jayce.
Okay.
So blind pickable champion. Jayce, very vulnerable to Wukong later on in games, but can definitely dominate a little bit early, and they throw the Sion to try and neutralize it in the top lane.
And it's going to be a lot on Callme to find the gold cards, maybe KryRa to find engages, or Bard Tempered Fates. But typically when I see a comp like this, it's gold card, trap, cosmic binding, Tempered Fate. You layer onto the TF finding the pick, but here's Fudge on a tank. It's Sion locked in.
I mean, just TF can do some magic damage, but not like tank shredding magic damage.
Nope.
So trying to run Jayce, Pantheon, Caitlyn into Wukong Sion while also having a good teamfight structure with Anivia, Neeko, Ezreal, I really do prefer Shopify's team fighting. It's just a matter of if DSG can play wide enough, win lanes hard enough, and really snowball the game. Because this Sion could absolutely just be the pick that puts Shopify into playoffs.
Yeah. I love also that you highlight Wukong behind that, though. Really high base armor stats. Loves playing into AD compositions. And yeah, TF's going to have to do a lot of work here in the AP department when that's not necessarily what the champ is known for. Srtty on a carry, though. This is exciting to see for him individually. When they had tried this in years past, if you remember Srtty from last year, you had highlighted it already, Jatt. Didn't work because of lane swaps. He was never really in that 1v1. Cassandra and Romo gets a solo kill. Maybe Srtty can be the X factor here for DSG, as he is on one of his carry picks.
He absolutely is. We have a few things to touch on as we get into this game. I need to take a small tangent to shout out Raz's fantasy team because he's in last place. He's in last place in our fantasy league. The Caster Fantasy League actually ends today.
It does.
So loser in the regular season
tomorrow?
has to get clown makeup put on them by the winner of the fantasy league.
Okay.
Raz, as a last place player, decided to all in DSG players.
Yes, and post his roster publicly.
Yes, so I could copy it to make sure I wasn't last place. So I am personally harmed by this as well, by Raz's poor choices. But I will just say, if DSG doesn't turn this around, not only does Shopify get into playoffs, but Raz will definitely lose the fantasy league.
Well, you know what they say, if you're in first, you're last, but if you're not last, you're not in clown makeup. So I think you're fine, Jatt. I think you're doing just fine. You're the real winner here. I think there's only one loser in our league at the end of the day.
And it'll be Raz. The winners, though, is interesting. Our stats guy found this in between games. Shout out Leo. It's the top 5 damage per minute in the jungle in LCS history. Inspired Karthus is number 1, but then Contractz, KryRa, and Contractz from last game. Contractz has these, like, semi-annual, I'm literally going to 1v9 games, and we got to see one of them just now on the
He's got 3 out of the top 5 highest damage.
If he could have just done like
games.
one more brand W, he could have passed Inspired for number 1.
True, was very close. That was the brand Zyra meta, though. If
Yes,
you noticed the 2 of those for that. Because you talked about jungle inflation. That was a couple years ago.
True.
So I don't know how true that
The KryRa Mundo game was from this year.
True. Yeah, and it's funny, KryRa's on there too. Mundo, of all things, not one you'd expect, but KryRa did get kind of bodied in that last game. You had highlighted a lot of it with draft, but you like the Pantheon more here. What do you think KryRa needs to be focused on in this game to come back versus Shopify?
So a couple things with Twisted Fate is you need Twisted Fate to be able to move in order to unlock him. So it's always nice if you can make some type of visit mid lane to unlock the Twisted Fate, because then you can really start taking over the game.
Speaking of mid
but
lane,
if that's not there,
flash from
Callme.
Callme.
Zinie has egg.
Oh, Zinie still flashing. Had the egg available. I doubt Callme will have the damage to kill, so Zinie just uses his passive, but still loses the summoner spell.
Yeah, no longer has egg. And also no flash. So that makes him an even bigger gank target. A lot of times you'd say just play through bot lane if you have the Caitlyn bar, but I don't feel like it's guaranteed that they can get pushed. So at this point, if I'm KryRa, I'm thinking bot river control into trying to get some type of kill onto Zinie, because if Callme gets unlocked in this game, it just becomes super hard to play for any of the side lanes.
Sure. And also, thinking back on that flash, he probably didn't want the minions to aggro him, because if all the minions are on him, he probably does die there.
I think he dies in egg.
Yeah, so Zinie playing the safe path instead. No summoner spells on either mid laner, but I do agree that KryRa on the Pantheon, more gank options early game. Wukong doesn't provide any CC until level 6, so it'd be kind of on Zinie to set up the play. Wave will get shoved in. Zinie will just get a lot of this under the turret and actually be about a wave up over Callme.
Yeah, Contractz will take kills if they're there, but in this game, actually, it is important that Shopify play with patience, because I think if Sion can get to his armor items, if Wukong can get to his Trinity Force, the game is going to kind of naturally start playing itself. So if DSG isn't really quickly forcing turret dives or really quickly stacking Drakes, I think Shopify is going to be pretty comfortable.
It's all about just making sure that you maintain your lane positions, wave states, lane positions, combining those two together, as Zinie will again get the wave underneath this turret. Top lane, small lead for Srtty. Bot lane about dead even here between the two. So much better start now for Sajed and Lyonz, who again have been struggling a bit in the 2v2 so far this year. This time around, though, at least going even. Contractz now passing back on his second rotation here. He gets the Sheen first build. KryRa just picking up the longsword and a Ruby Crystal. And both will just get back to their second clears of jungle. No early ganks from KryRa, but again, I'm just going to keep highlighting that mid lane. Whenever there's no flashes available, always could be the focus of junglers.
And gold card. I mean, Srtty is actually playing so aggressive right now.
Big damage on a Fudge. Has the shield come up, and Srtty knocks him back. has to get to safety there. Fudge could look for the flash W auto, maybe get the kill, but now KryRa will use the Aegis Assault for the move speed. Zinie will get the stun in onto Callme, and there goes Contractz. Flash in with the Warrior Trickster. Bonk for the first blood, and Shopify Rebellion strike in the mid lane.
Oof, Contractz is going to take those every single day. He's there for the counter gank, but my goodness, that's not what you want to see. The red card into the counter gank is an oopsie for sure. Zinie's able to land the stun onto the flashless TF as well, and now they're going for the 2v2.
Ooh, Lyonz looking for the flash cosmic binding onto Seos. Not landing that one, so loses his summoner spell and takes a big chunk of damage.
Wow, so Shopify off to a good start. Flash burned from the Bard, they're quite low. KryRa having to defensively clear now. Completely scouted out by Seos, so Contractz knows he's completely safe to continue farming. And now Zinie's level 6 first as well.
Yeah.
Really start putting some pain down onto Callme.
As the Glacial Storm to just always push that wave out, keep control over it. From this point forward, you kind of mentioned, Jatt, the TF wants the freedom to move around. When you're against an Anivia who will just instantly delete waves, you don't get big windows to do that.
Yeah, there's a couple things that TF loves to have. One is obviously push, which you don't get in many matchups.
Yep.
But two is volatile side lanes. And Sion hopes to reduce volatility, and then Bard is trying to create volatility with plays like that, because if there's anyone flashless, then even if you're losing, you can still sneak away as TF and maybe pull something off. But for now, like with all summoner spells being up in both side lanes, there's no need for Shopify to push either top or bot, so they can continue to just scale while this TF is getting just beat on in lane.
Yeah, so far Contractz, I mean, he gets the first blood, is going to hit level 6 here very quickly. KryRa has level 6, so he has the ability to full send, and I want to remind people of what happened last week when KryRa had the ability to full send. He actually did full send on Xin Zhao. It was Callme on the Rise setting him up for that. This time he could do it on his own. He still will have the TF behind him, but it was impressive to see KryRa having one of his kind of big pop-off plays himself. Well, usually when you realm warp 1v5 into the enemy team, you go down, but this one was actually good for DSG.
It was. They kind of won the game off of this play. He told us in the interview afterwards that they did it 16 times in scrims, and now they're 1 in 16 on it. So it just had not been working whatsoever, but they continued to full send.
That's a confident jungler, though, Jatt.
It's the confidence.
Yeah.
He had a lot of those. He died 9 times in game 1. So we're not at 16 yet, but keep in mind that that's where we're going if these dives don't start working. And
you know, success rarely comes without a couple of failures along the way, Jatt.
It's true.
So you got to fail to succeed.
Both of these teams can contest to that, Kangas.
They're ready to succeed. Both these teams are primed to succeed.
Very ready.
Yeah. As again, they will succeed if they win the series. Shopify Rebellion one more game. If they only take a 2-1, reminder that they're kind of waiting for that Dig Sentinels matchup going on tomorrow.
Sure, but 2-0?
They could do it right here. Yeah.
Lock. If they lose the series, eliminated. Very clear. DSG, also very clear. Win the series. They can't just win a game. They have to win the next 2 because they've already lost the game 1.
A lot of that coming down to the tiebreaker situations of who they've lost to so far. Everyone's kind of taken down Dignitas, but if you have bad records against everybody else around you, or even just one match win, not going to be enough. As Fudge popping down Srtty up here in the top lane. This time around, getting the better of the 1v1. Srtty will get fully shoved in under his turret.
Yeah, I mean, Shopify's full chilling right now. They have no reason to even start the Drake. They just want the Drake sold to be as late as possible. Make sure they're still collecting golden experience. I do want to note, like, it looks like Fudge is doing well in lane. Part of this is because of Srtty's build. He's kind of trying to do like a mid-game power spike with that tier call.
Well, he
but
might
he
get
gets
some
dope
help
here.
That's a flash from
No
Srtty
flash.
for the Decimating Smash. No flash for the counterplay now as TF will come in. Callme's trying to back up his top laner, and the turret will help him out for the kill. Contractz now taking up next here. Callme has enough damage to the DSG.
You wouldn't think the volatile side lanes would be the Sion diving the Jayce, but they find the volatile side lanes they need, and actually Callme's exactly there for it. That must have been some good comms, I'd say, from Srtty saying they might be looking to dive here, come look, and Callme is able to deliver the defense there with TF.
And with Contractz off the map, this is also KryRa able to take the grubs, not the dragon, so it's still going to be a very delayed soul, but the lead continues. That is Trinity Force on the back here for Contractz. The fact they went for that dive without even this power spike. Like, he had that gold theoretically at that time.
Also, that's not a cheap item. Trinity Force is incredibly expensive, and he's the first one to have his completed item, so he's still on a big power spike. He wants to fight now. Even without ultimate, he can really start playing the game. And a quick swap by Shopify as well after this. They move the Sion bot.
You know what this is, Jatt?
What's this?
This happens to me all the time. You get Giga fed in a game in solo queue, and you enter the next game, and you just kind of feel like you're that strong still, and that you can just do no wrong. And then you get punished, you get that reality check of, oh, I need to spend my gold.
True.
Contractz is still ahead, but that is giving some gold back to DSG, who now have a slight lead overall for themselves. Contractz not letting it dismay him. He has the Trinity Force, and he's topside right now, as Fudge used the unstoppable onslaught onto Sajed. That's flashed down. Sajed's trying to kite away from the Sion. It's a 1v1, and Sion just doesn't quite have enough armor to fully tank the Caitlyn at this point. So Sajed would have won the prolonged fight. Fudge walks away.
Fudge will take the flash, man. In a 1v1 against the Caitlyn now. If Wukong or Neeko find an engage on a Sajed, they'll get him. We'll just watch this replay one more time, how he forced it. Sajed trying to get that wave all the way in, lands the E into R, so that would have been a guaranteed R hit. Maybe chains it with Q, and here's a gank mid.
Yeah, live. Callme trying to set it up, but Zinie gets the wall down. KryRa, not enough damage in the follow-up, and Contractz is there. Stunned up again by another gold card. KryRa does get to safety, didn't have to flash. No kills on either side.
Contractz is in their heads, man. If you can fight even numbers against TF, you are winning. TF and Pantheon both excel by creating numbers advantages, but the 2 times that KryRa has tried to gank mid, Contractz has been right there. First time got a kill for them. This time ends up pushing them back.
And that was the flash from Callme and Grand Starfall from KryRa. So that's a long ultimate cooldown. Pantheon, it's 3 minutes without any cooldown reduction. Currently with the Sundered Sky, I believe that's like, I don't know, around 2 minutes, 40 seconds, somewhere in that range. But still, long time before we're going to see that again, and the flash even longer. So that's pretty big commitment there from DSG.
Yeah, and crucially, Dragon's still up. Again, Shopify, totally fine with this.
Seos finds Pop Blossom here onto Sajed. No flash from Fudge's earlier heroics means a kill for Bvoy, and it's going to turn into potentially more. Cyclone onto Lyonz. He can't get away. Contractz with another on the board. 3-1. That's 2 to Shopify.
Huge play by Shopify, and they're playing the slow, controlled game that they've quite honestly been working towards for quite a long time. Callme and KryRa trying to get some plates down in the mid lane as Contractz takes this Drake. So Zinie and Seos just trying to play slow defense.
KryRa gets chunked right there by Zinie and has to walk away, but they denied some of the wave from Zinie, keeping him zoned off from that. But the first Dragon to go into Shopify, this is fantastic news for the scaling team. The fact that they don't even have to worry about a Dragon stack from the opposing team gives them so much time to play with.
Really trying to move mid here,
Zinie the target. Oh, Temper Fate. Barely sidestepped by Zinie. Stun will still land from the gold card, but not the angle from Lyonz to follow up with the Cosmic Binding, and Zinie just trades right back out of KryRa. DSG, they keep looking. Credit to for the attempt, but you don't actually get the grade for the attempts.
Gold is still close. Srtty with a Serpent's Fang trying to cut through really just the Sion shields early on. He's going to have a tough game trying to fight Impact. He did the Cull tier build, so I don't really know when he's going to start being a problem.
Pretty on top of the onslaught. Yep, it's Fudge going bot lane again on the Sajed, who still does. Oh, okay.
Wall. Got him. The wall got him.
Wall.
Tough. But on the positive note, the slow and controlled style is something DeMonte talked about, Shopify's assistant coach, on pros, was that he kind of broke down LCS teams into the teams that are trying to play really fast and the teams that are playing the more controlled style, which is kind of Lion. And then also Shopify, like when they're at their best, they want to make good, solid plans and play a slow, controlled game. And that's kind of what's needed
Not
here.
To play topside, send 3 members up there. Pantheon plus Twisted Fate ultimates. Even Lyonz is there to join the party and get an assist. That is a full send onto Zinie.
Full send. Zinie had no flash, so really well executed play there. They burned both globals, and they're in a race for the first turret right now, actually with Sion. Srtty Callme probably kill it first. Sion doesn't kill it that fast, so they'll end up getting first turret and actually pulling themselves ahead in gold.
Looks like Fudge still has 2 more plates to get through in the bottom lane, if I can tell there. So well done from DSG. They had tried twice before, and this time that was, very shortly after the Grand Starfall came off cooldown, and KryRa just immediately uses it. This time does get advantage because Zinie had used the flash on the earlier one. So that ultimate ability for Pantheon will be up before a flash on an enemy mid laner.
Yeah, Contractz, actually the richest person on Shopify right now. So even though we're saying like, last game, he's really fed. This game, he's also still really fed. But Srtty, Callme doing well themselves. It's actually kind of identical to last game, just not as extreme. When it's jungle bot ahead for Shopify and the solo lanes ahead for DSG.
I think the big thing is that bot lane has held on so far. Sajed and Lyonz not falling Giga behind, and in fact, DSG now making another play here. They don't have the ultimates, but they still have the numbers. Looking at Fudge, Temper Fate onto the turret. It will not be ramping up. They can get their damage onto Fudge, but he's got a big health bar. That's flash from KryRa early to get himself out of there. And another successful side lane play for DSG.
And Shopify needs to be able to make plays on the other side of the map, since it's kind of hard to chase around a team as mobile as Bard, Twisted Fate, Pantheon. They are doing so. Zinie Contractz smacking away at this top lane turret. They're not trading up in gold, though, since you are getting kills on the side of DSG, and Srtty might be able to become a problem with his Cull cashing in, his Mana Mune completed, soon to turn into Muramana, and if he can somehow sneak his Jayce spells past the Wukong Sion, he'd be effective. I just still think it's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah, but I like that DSG are pivoting their focus in this game. They're saying we're not going to be just targeting the mid lane. That's where they made the last couple of plays. Now that everyone's rotated around, target the side lanes. That's what this comp is going to excel at. You have Jayce in the side lane. You have Pantheon, TF that can join up, and even Bard can run around very fast. Hasn't picked up Swifties. I imagine eventually those will come in, but also going towards just more movement speed in general in the itemization. So Lyonz is going to be a speedy Bard, and DSG will have numbers advantage inside lanes. So Shopify, it's up to them to kind of figure out their answer to the puzzle that is DSG's composition, because if you're just going to only have somebody solo in a side lane over and over again, they're going to get played on, and yet again, they're going for it. That is Unstoppable Onslaught from Fudge, canceled early, as Srtty will teleport down.
I mean, if they completely keep denying him, like, all of the minions, then they're going to have a chance. Can they actually kill here? They're going to Destiny
in. That's a gold card used, stunned up. He's getting low, but I think he should be fine. No, under turret. Callme's going for more. Srtty tanked up a couple shots. Callme gets it. Mid turret will go down. Fudge does fall. Shoe shot barrage.
Apparently it's fine.
Not enough to kill. As now mid lane tier 2 is the focus for Shopify Rebellion. Temper Fate will land onto only one. It's Zinie. The trap goes down. He's rooted up, but Seo's finds space for him. Grand Starfall now being used. Stunned up. Buffered. Zinie's fine. Cyclone from Contractz will turn the play onto KryRa. Aegis' ult to keep him up, and the wall's there. He's locked in place. The Pop Blossom from Seos. Followed up with a double tangle barbs. Flash from Callme. Sajed tries to get away as well. DSG tried so hard to find a pick there, just couldn't quite get it.
Contractz is just the same. He's just the same as he was in game 1. He's trying to hard carry Shopify over the finish line. I think that was a huge overforce from DSG. They already kind of pulled off this miraculous 2-man dive, TF Jayce onto the Sion. And like, you're down 2 people now. You don't need to go fight into the strong Wukong Ezreal, but they feel like they can get something onto Zinie. They're clearly wrong in the extended play there and end up giving it back. I think they were actually starting to open up a pretty big lead.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe just like trading mid tier 2 for bot tier 2 would have been a better play.
Just defend the turret. You don't need to dive through to your Raptors. But now they really need to start stacking Drakes, and they're not that strong in 5v5s. They know that the Neeko and the Wukong ult were burned in the last fight, though.
Yes, no engaged tools for Shopify outside of Sion, who will throw his body in. Does not land the ultimate, but to get some damage onto Sajed. Everybody from DSG are turning onto the Sion. Callme got stuck on the wall right there. Fudge is going to buy a lot of time as the Battle Herald comes in. Knocks up Lyonz. Fudge goes down already. Traded for Srtty. That's where the Contractz even gets the turret. Loops all the way around, and Shopify will trade 1-for-1.
What an incredible drift there by Contractz.
Yeah.
He almost got to kill TF at the back end of that. Now they can move on to the Drake. Zinie's full health. He's going to shred that Drake down, no problem.
And they delayed the fight, so now Cyclone is available. Pop Blossom's about to be. The engaged tools are here. DSG are going in. They Temper Fate, dodged by Bvoy. Stun lands onto the clone. Shopify get the dragon, and DSG are going to get out. Okay, Contractz.
Yep.
Played a clean game, but he didn't get over that wall.
Sure.
It's okay.
Kick him from the team. He's done.
He's got 3 out of the 5 top damage of all time in LCS as a jungler. I think he's all right.
Dude, he's been so good. Tickets also available for the LCS Spring Finals, June 13th to 14th. 2-day and 1-day passes are now on sale. Use that QR code, and who knows, maybe Shopify even makes it.
There's a chance.
2 of the last 3 splits, they've actually been top 3. As crazy as that seems, and with Contractz playing like this, you never know if they can make playoffs and if they can do some type of lower bracket run. They always keep you guessing.
Yeah, you can never tell. In fact, I can say that there's one member of the broadcast that will be very excited if they make it to playoffs.
Is it you?
It's me.
Okay.
100%.
Good to know.
Nobody else believed in them. For fairly good reason. They have,
You
again,
know,
reminder, 3-16 on the year.
Yeah, even now they've still lost 16 of their 20 games this year.
Yeah.
On stage.
Uh-huh.
But
I'm
I will
just going to
say,
keep reminding people of that before I caster curse them.
I will say they posted their scrim board again
Oh,
on
they
the
did.
Shopify
I
Twitter.
missed that one, okay.
So the way their scrim board works is they will do individual ratings for each player on each day of scrims.
Yep.
Last year it was player self-ratings. This year it's actually players rating each other. So they'll randomize, like today, Contractz, you get to grade Bvoy, and like today, Fudge, you get to grade Contractz.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
I imagine there's a few memes in there.
That's content.
But their Friday scrims were really good. Fudge got a 10.
Whoa!
Got a 10 out of 10.
I mean, currently 0-4. Now the engage from Seos, though, following up Contractz. Semper Fate will only land on a 1, and Shopify already got one themselves. Make it a double. Contractz unleashed on the Wukong. Disguised, we're not ready for that play.
I'm giving Contractz an 11 this game, this series. He's hard carried on Olaf, nearly set an LCS damage record, is unbelievable on this Wukong, and they're going for Baron. I don't see how DSG stopped this.
KryRa's dead. They don't have Tempered Fate to buy time. It would just be Sajed maybe finding a miracle, but he's mid lane with Callme. No contest, Baron taken, traded for damage on the mid-tier 1, and they will even take it. Oh, and he's in the hole, redirected.
Got him.
Landed. Boom.
Counts for damage.
Baron picked up by Shopify Rebellion after the 2 quick kills. They don't have many engage tools, but when the engage tools land, they land hard.
And KryRa tries to stop Contractz from getting in. This is why Jayce into Wukong is just not a good time.
Yeah.
Because you have no tools to really stop the Wukong from getting on your head with a Cyclone, and then any other CC lands, you're dead.
Yeah, good. Really good angle. Nice. Dash. Whoa. This guy.
This
guy.
This guy is Contractz.
Yeah, Devontae and Revan, this is the moment that they've wanted, and this is what Shopify Rebellion are doing to Disguised right now, ripping them in half.
How many of these have you pre-prepared? That's what I need to know.
It's a secret.
We're going to be in playoffs. We're going to have new ones over and over again. They now have Baron. They have a 2.5 item Contractz, who is, again, kind of running over this game. He's, Srtty actually has done 1 billion damage to Sion this game, and I imagine gold-wise, Contractz now
Back
ahead.
up in the lead, baby.
The carry of Shopify. Jayce
do it
trying
again.
to get something done on the side lane, but they need to stop the front door first.
Can Contractz get in the top 5 damage per minute again as a jungler here? Twice in 1 series would be crazy. Stunned up, looking at Callme right there. Fudge is buying a lot of space for Shopify as they have the Baron-empowered wave crashing into this bottom turret. Nice stun over the wall into Callme, but in comes Srtty. They have the gold card flash from Zinie. He's very low, has the egg available, but won't need to pop it yet. Srtty's going to look for the flank. He's got the empowered shock blast. If he can land it onto Zinie, that's big. Callme Destiny flank. Looking for continued play. Nice little spear there. They got the egg. That's going to be a dead Zinie, but a Pop Blossom for Seos will land on the 2. Aegis Assault will buy all of KryRa's health bar back. Now the engage from Contractz. Cyclone onto 1. Contractz he's on the back line. Tried to turn the play, but Srtty and Callme are unleashed. A shutdown to Srtty. Contractz, the last member left on the Rebels, as he's going to try and Warrior Trickster over the wall, but it's straight into Callme. Shutdown for Srtty. The solo laners stand for DSG as they defend the base.
Srtty is very fed now. He gets the big bounty payoff from Contractz, as well as a couple other kills in that fight. A 5,000 gold diff right now. So this all started because Zinie got too close to the wall, got hit by a gold card and a shock blast. So it's all about trying to get the egg first and keeping this fight spread out. And then when they egg him, since Shopify does a really hard engage onto one side, they can't win the top of the fight. Contractz nearly pulls off a superhero move, getting 2 Sundered Sky procs as he cyclones through. Maybe he could have gone down, and with how fed he is, could have killed Callme and made it kind of close. But then at the end here, oh no, they're fighting back.
No,
the
DSG!
toast.
They hit SR with the stunner this time. Oh no, disaster.
And a Drake. So gonna move right on there. Srtty doing great. Srtty's doing great on that Jayce. Pretty well done.
4, 3, and 6. When you give Srtty the carry, this is what you want to see out of him. He had incredible stats last weekend, and even on the Cassante in Game 1 of this series, he was able to solo kill Fudge. He looked solid in the team fights. Now, he's got a gold lead, a massive gold lead, so much so that the team has a lead. That's basically just Srtty. Callme's got 1.6K as well, but answered by other members of Shopify as some damage traded back and forth.
I always find it so hard for Jayce to use his lead, though, especially if the other team has a strong front line or strong engage. So he was really good at getting leads, but then carrying games, because aside from him, his team is 5,000 gold down.
Yeah.
Since his lead is what's keeping the game close. So they still don't have a real answer for this Wukong. But if he can sneak in Shock Blast like that, that's a start of contributing.
But I like that you highlight anytime you see this type of gold lead on a squishy carry, Jayce is not a big health stacking champion. If you die, all that gold lead is gone for your team. He's got to land a lot of Shock Blasts to make it worth it right now. And so far, he is landing true. Callme will get that tier 2 turret in the bot lane now. Pop Blossom Seos.
Bard is dead.
Used. They did get Lion. So
Yeah.
one down. That's a pick here for Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, Bard is dead.
That's
So
actually huge. That's a long death timer, 25 seconds. That's going to be a tier 2 turret in the top lane now and vision setup at the Baron.
yeah, I think that's going to be the end of this play. Everyone's just going to kind of reset, start working towards this Dragon Soul. Did feel like Shopify was like one push away from making playoffs, and now the game is kind of wide again. TF Ultimate burned, though, couldn't find the right angle. Seeing Contractz was close enough. If you ever TF ult and you're going to TF ult into a fight, and you see Contractz can get there, you don't take that TF.
Yeah,
not in
exactly.
This game.
Let's get another look at how Lyonz actually went down here. That was very fast.
I mean, he walks into a route, and then
Yep.
there might have been like a meep in the bush or something. It's a nice kill. Easy. They're just cracking up, man.
Yeah. Sometimes they just give you one. As Lyonz has the dead man's plate, but that's not full tank. Like, as a support, you're just never going to be that tanky, regardless of what you build here. DSG were able to get back into the map, though, and actually get some vision down themselves around the Baron. So Shopify Rebellion on the reset cleared some camps. They have Fudge in the bot side, but they did not get all the wards down. And in fact, all the flanking wards have been cleared except for a very deep one right there. Not expecting Fudge to go that deep.
The saving grace of this game for DSG is actually the fact that Sajed isn't behind.
Callme's stuck in a wall. Tangle Barb's used. Tempered Fate, but Contractz gets onto him. Callme's
Oh my
down.
God.
What a pick from Zinie, as DSG will not have their mid laner. Sajed's got to run all the way back. Pops the Ghost. Can net over the wall. But DSG now have a 4v5 at the Baron. Shopify Rebellion with that one pick can maybe
Zinie.
just look to take this objective.
Zinie with some clutch plays. He had the Annie engages at the end of game 1, and some of these walls have just completely stuffed Callme. Perfectly stuck in the wall there, as I think Callme was trying to get... So I think what DSG is trying to do now with the pretty fed Caitlyn and the TFRC is just land a gold card into a trap and get some substantial poke on.
Yeah.
But you walk into wall range, you're dead.
You're going to go down. Bvoy very low here. Let's see if Srtty's able to land a clutch Shock Blast. This could be huge. Lands one on the Zinie. That's a big engage right there from Seos. Pop Blossom on only one, but it's Srtty. That's all the damage, but the Cyclone's out in range. Now Contractz gets onto him. Srtty down. Gold lead down for DSG. Lyonz flashes the wall. Zinie's still alive. Wall goes up. Sajed gets over it. Flashes in. That's only the egg. KryRa trying to stay alive as Callme's rejoined the fight. Sajed's got to make a miracle happen, and he just can't find it. Only the one, as Shopify Rebellion will take a 1-for-4 trade.
Getting on to Srtty's Jayce was so crucial. Contractz almost couldn't make it in, but then everyone else could file through. That should be the Baron for Shopify. They're going to have to reset fairly quick after this, though, because the Ocean Drake will be up, and Callme's still looking to poke here.
I mean, if he lands that one gold card at max range with a rapid fire cannon, maybe can kill somebody.
Yeah,
but
he
it's so dangerous, and now you don't want to go down yourself. Fudge could look for it. 8 seconds for the unstoppable onslaught. Nope, Callme's out of there, but Baron to Shopify.
Yeah, Seos actually used his Zonia's mid-fight to a Caitlyn auto that was going to kill him. So knowing that that was down, I think that's what he was looking for. Contesting a Baron 4v5 without your TF is nearly impossible, so Srtty, bit of a suicide mission there. Seos found a nice flank at the beginning of the fight. And then one of the saving graces for DSG is the fact that Sajed is pretty fed, but he just can't get it done in this fight. See, right there, that auto would have killed Seos. Then he's split. Like, usually if you Zonias against a Caitlyn, you will get trapped again and then killed.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Oh, there's no way.
And that's definitely how KryRa would feel.
Oh,
This is how you are feeling.
We're playing it too soon, guys. I'm not that confident at this
He
point. I know
thinks it's over.
Shopify's winning.
He thinks Shopify's going to playoffs. They have Baron. What could possibly go wrong? It's celebration time.
I mean, Baron at 2K gold lead. but never say never when it comes to Shopify Rebellion. Or I guess never say always. I feel like they always find some angle here.
Now you're
Contractz
nervous.
will get that third dragon.
You weren't nervous before, but
I
now you're
wasn't nervous before. Now I am. Now that they're at the precipice, now that they can actually make it happen. Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Calm your nerves. Contractz almost has 4 items. He is turbo smurfing this entire series.
Okay.
Srtty,
I like it.
even though he does have 4 items, he's Jayce. And he's against a turbo-fed Wukong, as well as engage follow-up from the Neeko Sion. Also, Callme's Soul Stealer's at 0 stacks.
Another rock, paper, scissors situation going on here is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, yeah.
As Fudge gets
rock, paper,
chunked
scissors,
out.
Wukong.
Yep. Contractz just kind of lives above the rock, paper, scissors trifecta right there. As the bottom turret will now fall down. Contractz pushing mid lane solo currently. Callme has the gold card, but just can't lock down the Wukong.
Yeah. Literally a 0 stack Soul Stealer. He's losing the Soul War terribly. He had it upgraded before the last fight.
Yeah?
Or did he?
I don't know.
Isn't even
Unstoppable onslaught from
zero
Fudge.
stacks.
Let's see if this is able to land here. Doesn't find the angle. If anybody from DSG was too far forward, that would have gotten them, but
Would've
now
done
no Sion ultimate for this.
Yeah, Sion is not that tanky. He's only got 10,000 gold, but 300 more gold than his Neeko. Not great.
Sajed is going to have to make a lot of damage happen here. Temper Fate will land on a 1, but Sajed can't get in range to get the trap down for the follow-up, so Shopify just back off. That almost looks fantastic from Lyonz. If it lands on a multiple members, then it gives space, but as of right now, they're going to have to find a different angle in. Callme's looking from the side on the left here. 1 gold card to max range could be it as well, but currently Shopify Rebellion peppering down the inhibitor. They will take it. As the bottom inhibitor is also exposed, no turrets in mid or bot. They're going to turn their attention down there.
They just have to be so careful about the Anivia wall catching someone again, because if it just slows him down enough for Contractz to reach or Neeko to flash engage, it could be the end of the game and would clinch Shopify a playoff spot. But this is where the last disaster happened for Shopify. Fudge is split. DSG might be going for something.
Srtty might just have enough damage for a Shock Blast kill out of Seos right there. Oh, just chunks out Bvoy instead. And that should herald the end of the push from Shopify Rebellion. They have Dragon coming up in 2 minutes 45, Baron in 2:30. A lot of time to look at either of those. That is some disgusting damage.
Yeah, it's not all on to Sion anymore. The landing phase has been over for a while, so Srtty just doing his best. He's wearing the Castle jersey. He's cosplaying what Castle was going through on DSG. He's winning his lane. He's doing everything he can to try and win this game, but it's just so difficult.
I'd say Callme as well, but unfortunately when you're playing the TF, you're just not going to be DPSing that much. Mejai's still 0 stacks on it for Callme, unfortunately.
And look at all the armor they're stacking. They got armor item on Bvoy, armor item on Seos. Going to be a Frozen Heart Neeko pretty soon. Probably a Frozen Heart or an Iceborne Gauntlet on the Ezreal.
Contractz also with the Guardian Angel. Has a lot of armor himself. Plus the Death Stance. Just armor on that item too.
What's a cooler name, Iceborne Gauntlet or Frozen Fist?
Iceborne Gauntlet, of course. But Frozen Fist is way funnier, so I prefer that one.
Yeah.
But if you're just saying cool.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Whoever made that decision 13 years ago is redeemed.
Do you know what, that was 13 years ago.
When they made Iceborne Gauntlet, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Well, I think for play-by-plays around the world, just to prevent us from saying something about fisting, I think it's probably for the better of all of us.
Gauntlet is better.
I don't know if I'd be able to stop myself, personally.
I mean, Shopify is looking to kill this third inhibitor. Callme trying to get as much gold as he possibly can on the TF on the side.
Oh, Bvoy. Talk about confident plays. Takes 1 shot blast right there, but still getting some damage on a KryRa. Landing these Mystic shots one after another. KryRa's just got to back all the way off as Bvoy Arcane chips in again. TP in now from the TF. Bvoy has to flash away, but now the engage under the turret in on to Sajed. The carries down. KryRa, Sky falls in, only gets the clone as Zinie's still up as well. KryRa trying to get back to the safety of the fountain, has to flash. DSG a 4v5, but low health bars, and the Shock Blast gets the Anivia egg, and the stun, the shutdown. That Seo's dead. Now Fudge trying to pry a lot of space here. KryRa stuck between a wall and a Sion into the Guardian Angel, and probably straight to the gray screen afterwards. Shopify Rebellion get another kill for that one, as they'll take the top inhibitor turret. Srtty's getting some more damage down on the Fudge, but Bvoy's going forward. That's flash out of Srtty. Lyonz actually takes the portal over the Anivia wall. Bvoy jumping in. DSG I mean, they have some damage here, but they just can't get onto Bvoy. This Ezreal is just gliding on him. That gold card does
up
land.
in 6 seconds. I don't think they're going to be able to end off of this. Fudge did such a good job blocking Shock Blast there as Srtty was trying to get fatal damage through. Remember, Zinie's no egg. Drake up in 4 seconds. This would be the Soul, which DSG I think is going to try and rush. Contractz' ultimate is going to be up though, so whoever walks close is in for some hurt.
Callme. I'm telling you, Bvoy flash from Callme, Tempered Fate chained onto Bvoy, but there's no follow-up damage. Contractz will use the Cyclone, so no ultimate available for the Wukong, but I imagine Shopify don't need it to secure this Dragon Soul.
Ocean Soul against a primarily poke team has got to make Revan and Demonte more calm than they were 1 minute ago.
Yep.
And you, Steve.
I feel like now they could run the double Red Bull.
They already have.
Crash.
So,
yeah, they did. Yeah, we don't need to see it again.
Luckily, we already have. Soul likely into just a Baron start with Seos hiding on the side in case any of the flashless carries. Literally 5 flashes are burned from DSG. This is an uncontestable Baron. If they ever look, Contractz will kill them. Okay, they agree. They agree it's uncontestable.
No shot of getting in there. KryRa's not even on the screen. That's going to be Dragon Soul. It's going to be Baron. It's going to be Shopify Rebellion with a 2,000 gold lead at 35.5 minutes here. And as long as they play this one calmly, should be able to walk it into the enemy Nexus. They even have supers helping them out in mid and top lane.
They really do. Baron, Soul, a very fed Contractz, a very fed Bvoy at this point as well.
Yep.
Primarily physical damage from everyone on DSG. Mostly poke damage as well. Shopify could do it. They could 2-0 Dignitas and then 2-0 DSG and walk their way into playoffs.
Hey, you only need to be better than 2 teams in an 8-team league, so they would prove just that here. They're pushing in the super minions. Baron Empowered Wave. KryRa will start it off, but the Temper Fate goes wide on all members. So no Bard ultimate here. Gold card from Callme. He steps forward, but the turret falls. Can't find the auto. KryRa again goes on to Fudge, but his health bar is just not moving. Now Seos looking for the engage. Pop Blossom, Sajed's out of there. Shopify Rebellion are making it happen. You can have your expectations. You can have your predictions. Shopify Rebellion don't care. 3-16 SR says we just kicked your ass. 2-0 over DSG.
Oh man, Shopify and Contractz show up on the day. Olaf, Wukong, I'd say one of the best series I've seen from a jungler this year. Solo lanes consistently behind, Contractz just smurfing fight after fight to get them into playoffs.
Shopify Rebellion are going to playoffs. Their destiny was in their hands. They just needed a 2-0, and that was a clean 2-0. Game 1 was crushing. Game 2, few moments there where it felt like maybe DSG could wrestle something back into it, but Contractz on your screen kept it together for Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah,
and you just got to be better than the 2 teams below him, Jatt. That's it.
I'm voting him again. He's player of the game,
again.
back to back.
100%.
What an insane series from Contractz. We're gonna toss it out of the lounge.
Yeah, I voted him player of the week already, and the week just started.
We preemptively voted him player of the week after this. But man, like, it is really amazing to see Contractz have individual and the team have success, right? Because we did cover how good he was, even in some of their losses in week 2 and week 3, but it still wasn't coming together. Shopify came in, they had to 2-0, and they did it. They're now in playoffs.